All right, so I wanted to make this video today because on this day I was actually pretty sore. It was a little bit of like muscle soreness, delayed onset muscle soreness, and just general fatigue. So I wasn't really feeling up for pull-ups or dips or kind of the calisthenic exercises that load the muscles a little more intensely. But I do like to keep my habit, and I actually prefer to do lighter work when I am sore versus just resting, getting an increase in blood flow to the muscles and the soft tissues, as well as some movement so that the synovial fluid in the joints actually gets more nutrients because we get that through movement. And so after doing this workout, I also looked up some more information on like training when you're sore. I actually saw a good video by a channel called Picture Fit, and they really explained when you should work out if you're sore, right? Because as with a lot of things in life, it depends. So I am familiar with my body and the research enough that I know what I can do when I am a certain amount of sore and what will be beneficial to me versus detrimental. And so if the soreness is so bad and it's like in the muscles that you can't complete full range of motion or you can't keep safe technique, probably better to either go do an even lighter, an exercise that loads even less, or just rest that day. If you're having joint pain, so the pain isn't in the muscle isn't sort of touched, but like the pain is in the joints, you really don't want to try to work through that. You really want to limit the load so you don't get any pain in your joints when you're training, or again, change the exercise. And so, for example, here, typically I'll do a variation of chin-ups and then a variation of dips, but that was gonna not be very successful for me. I don't think I would have been able to keep the form, but ring rows and the kind of like the deficit push-up with the parallel bars was perfect for me, right? I could keep my form and I could tolerate it really well. But when you are having that joint pain, you really want to make sure that you wait to load those joints intensely until that pain goes away. And as a safety precaution, always go to see your medical professional, right? A physician or PT, and make sure it's not something more serious. But typically, if you just overload the joints because you're training too much or you're training with heavy enough loads, that kind of soreness, if it's not like a bigger injury or issue, should go away probably within a few days. But again, I was just sore, kind of exhausted. And I knew I also had to do Kung Fu later, so I did not want to gas myself out here. Another thing I want to note is I kind of did a superset. I still rested in between these exercises a lot. You'll see I clipped the videos, so it seems like I'm going right back and forth, but I did rest probably 3 minutes between each exercise, but I wanted to do a superset just because I wanted to, and that's what's fun about training in calisthenics is like you just sometimes, some days you just do what you want to do. But my focus today was getting the most range of motion as possible. So you can see on these push-ups how far back I bring my elbows, how deep into that push-up I go. And you can see I even lean my weight forward so it becomes chest and shoulder at the end, and then tricep more at the midpoint. And then doggy kiss. Yeah, we're dog sitting, so it's kind of crazy at my house right now. But you can see the transition between the two exercises. I just move those parallettes over, I move that block, and bam, I'm ready for the other exercise, right? So it's really nice also when you're at home, you just are able to move stuff around. But yeah, so training when you're sore, I personally think it's a great idea with some changes, right? I think it can actually be beneficial because you are getting that increased blood flow, increased nutrient dispersal into the synovial fluid in the joints. and it just reinforces the habit. So with these rows, I was really focusing on pulling shoulders back, really getting the most range of motion as possible. And I went for lower loads and higher reps today, again, because I was a little sore. And there's a little Tiny there coming to join me working out. Right, so you can see I almost get to failure, and then I stop. In this last set, I'm really focusing on my range of motion, really trying to get deep, deep, deep. And away from the dogs also, because they're on the ground. I recently got these parallettes. I really love them. They let me get a deeper range of motion in my push-up, because as you may have noticed with normal push-ups, the floor gets in the way, right? So that's all I wanted to address today, was kind of soreness when working out and what you should do and your options for different kinds of soreness. So comment down below. Let me know if you liked the video, if you want to see more like this. Thanks for watching.